y'all. It's your girl Kat from the Grow Gurl Podcast. I hope that you guys are well. This episode is a very transparent and full episode of some raw feelings and emotions that I am going through in this very moment. I told you all at the very beginning when I started this podcast journey that what you will hear in this space will be real and authentic conversations. Not everything's going to be rainbows and cheesecakes and all of the flowers and things that you may think. And I think a lot of times it's really hard for people to bear and share what they're truly dealing with in like literally real time. And so I thought it was important as I navigate my podcast space, as well as uplifting women and inspiring women and encouraging women, that I share some things that personally that I would say dealing with, because I think God is also dealing with me too. It's one thing when you are called to do something, and when you answer that call. About a year ago, and I've shared this in previous episodes when I first got started, I started going back to church, and it was actually September of last year where I stepped back foot into my home church and really started to make sure that I focused on the Word of God and what God was calling me to do. And with that being said, fast forward to, here now in 2025, a lot of things have flourished from my yes. But there's a lot of things that have also came with that yes. Not only is the enemy busy, but the devil is always trying to steal somebody's glory and trying to make sure that the story that you have to tell is not the one that God has given you. So I wanted to use the time that I had with you all on an afternoon where I I'm not going to say I'm broken, because a good friend of mine, actually, she was speaking life into me yesterday, and she says, no, no, no. You may feel like you're broken or breaking, but what God is doing is breaking you open. And I told her that is a word. And so I wanted to make sure that I shared that with you all. So I said all of that to just let you know that behind You Grow Girl and behind Kat and behind the smiles and behind all the energy lies a woman who is just trying to survive something that's been pulling at her heartstrings for a long time, and that's really mental clarity. I'm the type of person who carries a lot of things where people could call me and reach out to me and bring me their stuff, and I take their stuff and I have to try to help. I gotta send a message, I gotta do this, I gotta check in. I'm always the either the friend or the associate or the person that is always available to someone. The season that I'm in today, I have to recognize and understand that while I'm pouring into you all, I have been forgetting to pour into me. And many of you guys are going to be experiencing me in just a few weeks at the Pour Into Her brunch. And it's so important to me that I am my full, authentic self in that space. And I cannot wait, my team and I, as well as our speakers, to pour into you, pour into all of you who have purchased a ticket on that day. But I wanted to use this time just to really share with you all some of the things that I have been dealing with, because I think it's important for people to just kind of understand who I am and what God has called me to do in this season. I remember my bishop saying something in the month of July heading into August. He said, "This August coming up is going to be like no other, so get ready." And when you hear something like that, you're thinking, okay, what's that mean? Is something big going to happen? Like, what does that mean? Right? You're holding on to that. But one of the things that was steadfast in my mind when he said that was, God will reveal it to me. Okay? He said it and God will reveal it. Okay? One of those things was rest. And it kept coming up. And I said, rest? I don't know what that looked like. What does rest mean to Kat? Because I'm going 100 miles an hour all the time, y'all. Whether it's working a full-time job, giving time to this podcast, putting together this beautiful brunch that's coming in 3 weeks, helping out with Chasey, helping Carter, supporting Carter, trying to be there for my husband, and not really doing a great job at that either. But baby, there's one thing that I didn't say, is show up for me. And so I think oftentimes we forget about us because we're so used to helping everyone else that we don't give ourselves time to actually take a step back to see, where are we truly in this moment? And I think that that's kind of where I am. And so my charge to all of you today, and as you're listening to this episode of this podcast, is don't forget to rest. There are a lot of people that may be depending on you. And if you are running on fumes, before you know it, you will crash out and burn. And so as you're taking time to rest and refuel and reset, it's important that, number one, you give yourself grace through this process. You tell yourself it's okay to not be okay. You tell yourself to take the time that you need to take, because no one else can tell you what that looks like except for you, baby. And when it's all said and done, as long as you know and understand that you did what you needed to do for you, that's all that matters. And so what I'm doing now is I am taking a moment to reset not only the mindset, but mind, body, and soul. I am asking the Lord to cover me from the top of my head to the soles of my feet. And I am asking Him to do the same for you. Because, baby, you can't run on fumes. And I've been running on fumes for a very long time. I can't explain everything because it's hard to explain when you're in it. And so I tell you all, for you women who are just really trying to find your why, your purpose, your alignment, or whatever you're trying to do in this new season or this old season. I heard something today that literally just hit me right upside the head. It had to do with identity. And I think I want to stay there to kind of wrap up this short episode that I'm bringing you all today is that at one point of my life, and granted that still could be occurring, Kat forgot who Kat was and is. My identity became something different, meaning that I was operating the way someone wanted me to operate versus being true to who I am. I was bringing my authentic self, so I thought, yes, but what that looked like was very different for me. And so, although I've been in this thing, doing my thing, you give it to me, I'ma handle it. Whatever the job is, I'ma do it. But I found myself not excited and not feeling a fulfillment of joy in doing certain things. And so now is my time to pause, to go into a quiet place and a quiet space, to hear what God has for me and to hear what He wants me to do, because we all know that He directs our path. And I am truly walking by faith and not by sight, because He is carrying me literally to the next phase in what's up for Kat and for Kat. And so I just want to thank all of my support team, my village, for always trying to root me on and push me and encourage me and inspire me. Lord knows I love to inspire others, and I am going to continue to do that. But Mama needs to rest. My soul is tired. I am even in this very moment trying to keep it together, even talking to you all on this episode. And should I? It's that feeling of, if I cry, is it okay? Will people see me the way I see myself? It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to take time for you. It's okay to rest. It's okay to pause, because our body needs it. We need to rest. And so that's what I intend on doing in this season. But baby, when I come out of this season of rest, what God's getting ready to do for me in the next season is going to blow my mind. And I cannot wait. I will be waiting with open arms, stretched wide for what He has for me. And so as you pause and you greet this week, this is a midweek reminder for all of you watching. Take time to rest or take time to pause. Either way, take a time out because it's necessary. Figure out what it is that you need, because only you know what you need. Someone can tell you what you need, but only you know. So I love you, and know that your girl's still here, but this is resting season for me. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I love you, and I pray that even in this moment that you're listening to me, I hope it encourages you to take the time that you need. You take care. Bye, everybody.